You have to fail. Right.
Like failure is a compulsory in this game, in this life. Hakuna kila kitu yenye uenda nywe. See, lazima ugonge mwamba na ugonge mwamba na ugonge mwamba. Ndio next time usome.
Correct. And starting is not easy because you may start even you fail. Not once.
100%. 100%.
Not once.
And it's not you may start and have to fail.
You,
my man, you have to.
You have to fail. Right.
Like failure is a compulsory in this game, in this life. Hakuna kila kitu yenye uenda nywe. See, lazima ugonge mwamba na ugonge mwamba na ugonge mwamba. Ndio next time usome.
Correct.
Wajua? It's very few people who have been able to marry their first love.
Sure.
If it's in the relationship game. Yes. Because no one idea can live forever.
Yes.
You know, hata kama live na one person in your life when you're married.
Yes.
But ile kitu yenye attract when you met is not the thing that will attract them forever.
Sure.
Things have to change. You have to bring in diversity into this thing, you know. Lazima vitu zi shift. So if by one heartbreak you want to tap out and give up on this game, then basically you have condemned yourself to the status of a failure. That is how you see yourself.
Sure.
And this cuts into what we'll be talking about in the next meeting.
Yes.
So it's going to be on 2nd of September. And it's about, we're going to be talking a lot about mindsets and what are the formulas in your head that you use to solve the issues of life, you know? What is your algorithm in your head? What is your mindset? How is your mindset? And we are going to be talking about, the show will be called The Algorithm of Success.
Yes.
Like, how do successful people think, and what is that combination of codes and behavior and habits, and what are these things that actually are going to fuel you to become successful? But the main thing I wanted to point out, in that also class we shall be talking about two things, something called fixed mindset and growth mindset.
Right.
And that person that you're saying that they were heartbroken and they said that they can't do this anymore, those are people who exist in the fixed mindset. You know, and what fixed mindset tells you is that whatever happens to you, that is you. You know, so because they were rejected at that time, then it means that they are a reject. No, they are not able to differentiate between two things, between the occasion or the happening and who they are. You're not able to differentiate between two things, because if you are rejected, you are not a rejection. Rana. There is you, and then there is something that they have also rejected. And basically, I tell people, when I see you and I want to say you're a nice person, I will say you're a nice person from my perspective, not from yours. Not from yours.
Sure.
So if you take it to heart that you're a nice person because I have said so, remember that is my perspective. It is not yours.
Sure.
You need to have your own perspective of yourself. So when I tell you that I don't like you, or me and you can't work, it is from my perspective. You know, well, you might respect it, which is why you need to respect people's opinion and everything. But it doesn't say anything about you.
Sure.
Because you are an own individual.
True.
And also, at that moment, you see, if you met me 5 years ago, I was not the person I am today.
Sure.
You know, there are things about me that have changed. I have grown, I have developed, I have become a better person. I have worked on myself.
Yes.
So if someone rejected me 5 years ago, then that doesn't mean it's me, because today I have changed.
Sure.
I am a different person. I have the same name.
Yes.
I look maybe more handsome, but anyway, things have changed. Things have changed.
Sure.
You know. So the fixed mindset people are not able to differentiate these things.
Yes.
And it works both ways.
Yes.
From a success perspective and from a failure perspective. There is a very nice poem that I don't remember the whole of this. So as I was saying, so in this poem,
Yes.
they say something very interesting, and they say, if you're able to treat
Yes.
both success and failure
Yes.
as the imposters that they are, then you will be a man. If you are able to treat both success and failure
Yes.
as the imposters they are, then you will be a man. You know, and in this case now, man is not like the male, or it is the man. You will be somebody, like you will be you now. You know, so these two things, success and failure, both of them are imposters.
Yes.
They are not you.
They are not
No, they are not.
imposter.
Both of them are imposters
Yes.
in your life. And when you're able to differentiate between success and failure,
Yes.
between, you see, we are defined by the point that, you see, now today you're married to
Yes.
the beautiful girl that you're married to. And you identify yourself with her,
Yes.
and her accepting you.
Yes.
When she leaves you, you have no other choice
Yes.
but also to identify with that.
True.
So what will that do to you? Today it gives you a good identity and a good posture, and you're very proud. But then tomorrow it doesn't work out, and she goes. Then you start identifying yourself as a person who was rejected, a person who was divorced, a person who was never loved, a person who mwenye hatoshi mboga, and that becomes your identity. And these two things do not match
Sure.
to who you are, because you are not one thing. Today while we are seated in this conversation, well, you're married, but in this conversation, it is me and you, it is
Sure.
two friends seated down. You're something different.
Yes.
When you are teaching, you're a teacher, you're that. When you're preaching, you're a preacher.
Yes.
When you're in a matatu, you're a passenger. So you are so many things, and if you allow all these things to define
Define you.
you, then you lose yourself.
Can you repeat again? Repeat that one facing to that camera. Because you are really challenging me. Oh my.
So what I'm saying is, you're
Yes,
not
around
one
that-
thing. You like, we find identities in many things around us, but those are just identities.
Yes.
They are like classifications. No, but the classification is a generalized group. It is not it. No. When in the sea, in the ocean, we have fish. That is a generalization of the creatures that live in the ocean. We call them fish. Generalization.
Yes.
Among the fish, we have sharks, we have whales, we have tuna, we have tilapia, we have, and then also that is a classification.
Yes.
Because fish that look like this, they are
Yes.
called tilapia. Fish that look like this, these are.
Yeah,
But
called-
remember, in all that classification of this tilapia line of fish,
Yes.
there is one. There is the one fish that when you catch it, you'll be like, this is a fish.
Yes.
And for our understanding as human beings, for us to understand that, we say, so this is a fish.
Yes.
I'm not sure if I can name every fish in the waters. So what we will do, we will call this type of fish tilapia. So when you hold it, you say that you have a tilapia. But remember, there is more to that label of tilapia than there is more to it, because there is a whole fish there that is alive, that is breathing, that maybe you want to eat. There is that specification. You see? So when you come to a human being, there is this whole thing of you're a human. Why? Because you have two legs, you have two hands, you have a nose, that is how you look. This is, when you turn around, you'll be like, this is how humans look. That is a classification. You know? How do we say that you're a passenger? Because you're seated in a matatu, you're traveling. People who are traveling in a matatu are passengers.
It doesn't matter you are a doctor,
It doesn't.
or
You
teacher,
know?
or a preacher.
When you're in class and you're the one teaching, people who stand in front of class and teach, they are teachers.
Yes.
People who stand in front of a pulpit and preach, they are preachers. People who are married to this type and they are this gender, and those are husbands, and these other ones are wives.
Yes.
But remember, in all of that classification,
Yes.
there is Isaac Moore.
Myself.
When the money goes, when the failure goes,
Yes.
when the wife goes, when the kids go, when the career goes, when nothing, and you're just you, who are you? So we find identities in all these things, and that is why we identify ourselves with stuff like, I was rejected. because now you put yourself in that classification of people who are rejected. But you need to remember you're more than that rejection.
Let me say.
Does it make sense?
It's really making sense.
It really makes
a lot of sense, because even it is cutting across.
So,
no perspective.
So when you're rejected and you're afraid to start, then you're really doing a disservice to yourself. Because you're allowing one speck of classification in life define the whole of the spectrum of life. There is too much to life that you can handle.
Sure.
Like today, Isaac, today if you want to become a neurosurgeon, you can become a neurosurgeon. What does it take to become a neurosurgeon? You will just have to read some crazy amount of biology and chemistry and really do the work. Right? But it doesn't mean it's impossible for you to become a neurosurgeon. It's only that you've not chosen to, right?
Sure.
So, it is a matter of choice. So even if you are broken, even if you are rejected, the same is a matter of choice. You choose. I'm not going to be a reject for the rest of my life.
Sure.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to step up. I'm going to do things more. I'm going to do things better. I'm even better as a reject because I know what to look out for, what traps not to fall into. What, like you have this experience. So this is the difference between a person with a growth mindset and a person with a fixed mindset. And we shall be talking about all of that.
Wonderful.
Next month. Date 2. Book that date.
Growth mindset.
Fixed
Fixed mindset.
Yes.
I don't know which area you are.
Kuja tujue. Kuja tufanye assessment. Tujue wewe uko pande gani ya hizi vitu. Person or a bad person, it is my perspective. So it means all the information that I have told you about you is from me, right? It is my own perspective. So when I'm on social media and I'm there and I'm abusing a person, that all information is not from them. No, it's not. It is from you. So, and if something, ukiingia kwa nyumba usikie kuna harufu mbaya, hiyo harufu inatoka nje ama inatoka ndani, unaanza kuitafuta wapi? Uko ndani. So kama uko ndani yako ndio unatoa hii ukali yote na hii harufu mbaya yote una project kwa social media, kumaanisha who needs to be corrected? Yourself.